Okay, so now we are going to look that how to create HTML elements or DOM elements, DOM nodes actually inside an HTML document, how to create that dynamically, which means that if there is some if there is some HTML, then obviously, for example, this p tag you're already having, right? But what if this p tag is not there, and initially the HTML came from the server in that it is not there, but using JavaScript you want to create this p tag. Okay, how to do that? So let's do that right now. So let's say right now you can see that nothing is there, right? Now when this document has loaded, then in JavaScript I can do that whole thing. So what we were doing, just for clarification, we want to create something like this. We want to create something like this inside HTML. Okay, so how to do that? So there are two things for that. One is that there is a method called document.createElement. Okay, so what you can do is that you can create a particular element, and let's say that some para tag is there. Para tag I'm trying to create, paragraph tag I'm trying to create, right? So now I can have document.create element, and then you can give the tag name. So tag name is p. So now paragraph tag is created. If you want, you can print this, and you can see that this para tag is created. But this para tag has no text, right? Because just now I created, it has nothing, right? It has nothing, which means that let's say para dot inner text, then obviously this thing will be, as you can see, that empty string, nothing is there, right? And that is where we know that we can set this, right? So we want to set this to our value which we want to. So hello world, this is the string which we want to have this, right? So that is fine. Okay, now we have created, if we print this, then we have created a para tag, and that para tag's inner text is hello world. So now we are ready with this tag, and so in the DOM this tag is created, and what is the reference to that tag? Para is the reference to that tag, right? Now para, somehow we have to take this para and we have to insert in our HTML, right? So how to do that? So there are many ways, right? So first of all, what we can, where we have to insert firstly, so we have to insert in body, right? Now so if you have already some let's say some div you already have, like let's say this div id is equal to container, right? Container, and in this div you want to add, then this is pretty simple, right? What you can do is simply that I just want to take what container, and my container is what? My container is in the document. I will do query selector, and then I am trying to look for this id slash hash container, right? This id. Once I have got this, then I have the container, right? In the container I have to insert this para. Right now you can see that this thing is rendered, no need of inspect. If you simply do view source, then you will see that yeah, this container is there, but this container is empty, right? If you see from here also this container is there, but you can clearly see that this container is empty, nothing is there inside it, right? But what we are interested in, that somehow we have to insert this para inside this container. Okay, so how to do that? There is a method called append child. Okay, and this is on elements, not document, on elements. So whatever is the element on which inside which you want to append child. Append child means whatever children. So let's say it has already some div, one couple of divs are there, right? And at the end you want to insert something, right? So what it will do is that on this you take the reference of this, and if you do append child, then it inserts a child and appends it at the end, whatever already things are there at the end. So I will show you that also. So let's say hello 1, hello 2, these things are already there, these things are already there, and at the end I am trying to insert this thing. Okay, I'm trying to insert a new para, right? So what you can do is that you take the container, and dot append child, and append child, it you have to pass a node. That node is para I have to insert. Okay, if you refresh, then you see that a paragraph is inserted. And why that thing is that gap is coming, because we know that this is a paragraph, right? Paragraph will have some like padding and sort of internal thing at the end, right? If it is not a simple div, then you can see that there is no gap, right? Now first thing to see that it is inserted or not. You see that here it is not showing. Here it is not showing because when you do page source, then actually whatever the first time whatever HTML loaded, that is only shown, right? The real time, the live whatever is right now, and because right now we programmatically from JavaScript we inserted this thing, right? So if right current you want, then you go to this elements tab, and here you see that the live, the current one, it has this hello world also at the end, right? So just I had two elements just to show you that it is if like nothing is there, then obviously we will get what we wanted. We wanted to insert hello world programmatically. So you can clearly see that initially nothing was there, hello world was not there, and we inserted hello world programmatically. But we inserted this inside the container, right? What if we want earlier, like directly inside body? Okay, so for that you have to get the reference of body. How to get the reference of body? You can and this is like no more para, let's keep a no longer a div, let's keep it a p only. And then query selector, you can say that yeah, I am trying to get the body. So like CSS style, right? How do you target body? Simply body, right? So the CSS selector is body, and if you do that, then there's only one body obviously, right? So it will give you the container is now body, this container is body, and you are appending child in the body, right? So if you do that, then you can see that earlier whatever we had hello world, now it is there, and you can clearly see that this thing has come. Again, it has come after script tag, because you can only insert you can do when you are doing append child, then you are inserting only at the end of it, right? So that is fine. Okay, so this is what we were trying to do, that when we are trying to create this. Now actually this thing I believe that there are other ways also of doing this. So for example we can do something like document dot body dot append child para. So what is happening is that here we got using query selector the body and then did append child, right? But here we directly did something called document dot body dot append child, right? And you can see that this is also working fine. Why this is working fine? Because document dot body and there is also document dot head, right? So these like head and body are like very common, right? So the DOM reference will directly provide you references for it. There's no point in doing query selector. You do query selector on things which are like some div, some element somewhere, right? This obviously these things will be available directly. So they give you a shortcut that you can directly do something like this. So yeah, now we have seen that how to create this thing dynamically and insert that, and now it is available. Okay, but and the same thing can be done something like this also. So let's say I have some UL element, right? And in that some li, and then some, let's say item 1, item 2, item 3 is there, right? So this is sort of a list. This is sort of a list, right? Now what I want is that I want to create this list dynamically, right? Okay, so how can I do that? And let's say initially like there is nothing, there is no item in this, and I can get an ID of it, let my list or something. Now if this my list reference I have, then again I can insert those things, right? So what I can do is that I can get a reference, and hash my list. Now I get this thing is what? This thing is my basically list. Doesn't matter whatever is the name, list, right? And inside list, if you do append child, then that is going to insert hello world. You can see that inside the okay, sorry, so there is one problem. You don't want to yeah, so this is also working fine, but this is not what you wanted. Inside ul you don't want para, right? Inside ul you want li. So rather than p, you change this to li, right? And now if you refresh, then you are getting a list with this one item hello world, right? And then again you can very much do something like item 1, and that will this and now this is not para, this is like what, this is some item. Anyways, you should properly name the variables, but here whatever name you use, that does not matter. So this item, so basically what happens, already a container of the list is there, ul is there. I just took that reference list and then I created my own li item. I set item 1 inside that, so I have now li item ready, and now inside that ul I appended my item, right? And then when I do, then you can see that this item is item 1 has come, right? And now you can clearly see that this sort of thing you can do, like anyways, like for I, let's say 5 times 5 items you are trying to put, and you can do this whole thing programmatically where you are saying that I will insert item, and this, let's dynamically name this. So this thing is a template literal where this item is, let's say, index +1. So for 0 to 4 it will run, and for 1 to 5 this thing will add, right? So you can clearly see that. Okay, and I have to append it programmatically inside only, right? So what is happening? Yeah, so what is happening is that I created an item, I set the item, and I set the I inserted that item particular which I just now created in inside the list, right? And then I will get the whole list item 1 2 3 4 5, right? Yeah, and now since you have this item 1 2 3 4 5, then you can do whatever you want with it. So for example, you are trying to not insert it immediately, but let's say after some time. So set timeout, and then you are trying to do this after, let's say, 1 second, right? Then what will happen is that after 1 second, this thing, and after 1 second everything is inserted at once. Why? Because you see that this code, this 5 iterations are finished like very quickly, and each one of them scheduled at like after 1 second, which means that this thing 5 times run, and this thing ran 5 times very fast, and then all the 5 things are scheduled to be run after 1 second, and that's why the whole thing is running after the whole thing is inserted at once after 5 second after 1 second, right? But what if you want some change? So let's say I want this first thing is item 0, right? Item 0 you want to add after, let's say, 1 second. Item 2 you want to add after 2 seconds or something like that. Then you can do something like this, that yeah, I want to do this I plus 1. So 0 to 4, all of them will have 1 2 3 4 5 I plus 1 value, and then first one will be added after 1 second, second one will be added after 2 seconds, so like that. Then if you do something like this, then you see that first second, second, third second, so in 5 seconds all these will be done, right? And then if you want like to do it fast, then or some animation effect, then like 100 milliseconds or 80 milliseconds only, then it will be like sort of animation effect, right? So now you can understand that all those things you can programmatically do using JavaScript. Now you know how to create elements dynamically. So that will be all for this video. Thanks.